thank you for joining us. My name is Francina Grisette, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Joanne James. We are two ladies in conversation with our special guest today, Dina Constantinou. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. So what I like about the conversation we had just before going on the air is just talking about how we've gotten to where we are today. And that's why I want you to be able to share and, really give people the hope of going from the corporate world, a nice comfortable position, up to your entrepreneur life. So tell us what that's like and how that's impacted you personally and in your business.
Sure. Thank you. So a few years back, I was in a corporate role, many years with the same insurance company and in different roles, of course. And I came to the realization that I had arrived in the position that I wanted to be. I was a director overseeing a large department, but had lost my passion for it. Always sort of in the back of my mind, there was this voice telling me, go it on your own, go it on your own. But when you're in a nice, stable, secure role, you're fearful to do that.
Of course.
I had come back from a mat leave of my third child back in 2017. And I could not get that voice out of my head. Came back to the same role with a fantastic company, amazing leadership, but looked around that boardroom and thought, I can't do this for the next 20 years, right? So, of course, within that industry, there was an opportunity to go out on my own, open up my own business as an insurance agent, providing insurance and financial services. And I started asking the question, I think I want to do this. Got a whole lot of support, which was great. My leadership at the time said, Dina, I'm shocked, but I'm supportive. It's a great move for you. And then that's when the whole journey began, from going from a corporate, position to a businesswoman, a business owner.
Beautiful. I want to pause on something that really I can resonate with. It's being on mat leave. Being on mat leave, I don't know what it is, but the creative juices flow when you're on maternity leave, and it's you want to do more. So what was the moment? What was the moment really like? For me, it was just, okay, I want to do something more, because I too come from a corporate life myself. And then it was, I want to do something that's going to change the world, kind of kind of feeling.
And maybe make a broader impact. Someone once said, we talk about security of being in a corporate position and how people think that being a business owner is not secure. You're taking that leap of faith. What if it's a big flop? Then what? Then what's your livelihood? But the reality is, I have more people to answer to and more people that rely on me with a huge customer base than a department of 100 people, for example, right? So really, where is there more security? It begs the question. I think it's more security is if you're helping hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yes.
Of course, there's value in every opportunity and every job, as long as you're, putting your 100%. But for me, I think the aha moment was, I want to do this for me. I want to do this for me and my family, and I want to impact larger numbers, larger numbers of people.
So how did it impact on your family life? Because coming from a very, I would say 9 to 5 to, what are your hours like now?
Yeah. I was told you will have never worked harder in your life. And I thought that, you don't know what you're talking about. I've worked really hard to get to where I am. I worked sometimes at, 12 a.m., 2 a.m., working on emails and all of that. It comes with the role of being in a higher level position. And so I thought, I've worked really hard. I know what working hard is. But when I came into this role as a business owner, I would say that person was right. I had never worked that hard in my life. The hours are all over the place. You have to have support at home. You have to, or you can't do it.
Right.
You can't do it. Yeah.
It's a different type of hard.
That's right. That's right.
So how are you able to make that adjustment with your priorities, with your health, taking care of your family? Now, going from what was structured, I use that loosely, in a corporate world where it's 9 to 5, versus being in your business now. Tell me what that experience is like, that shift.
Yeah, for sure it affects the family 100%. You have to have, if you have a spouse, that spouse has to be supportive. If you have siblings or parents who help you or whomever, you have to have the support. How it impacted me was I was lucky. I had support from different angles, right? So I can't go to every single class trip. Not that I was doing that before anyway, right? So, it's all about finding your own balance, which may not mean that everybody gets all the same amount of your time at any given time. My family knew, guys, my 2 older kids are a bit older, and then I have a little guy.
Okay.
The 2 older kids got it. Like, this is for the future. So for the first few years, you're gonna have to understand, mommy's gonna be working a lot. Like a lot, right? But it's for the end goal of taking care of the family, right? So the older 2 got it. I was fortunate. The younger one was still really little, who didn't really have any sense of the time. So if I left home at 7 a.m. and came home at 9 p.m., he was just glad I was home, right? He didn't know the time. Now he's starting to realize, right?
Yes.
So yeah, it definitely affects the home life. And as for how does it affect me, as women, we kind of put ourselves last, right? Like we put ourselves last on the ladder of priorities. So it happens. It's unfortunate, but it does. And eventually you hope that you find that balance where you're not last anymore on that ladder, right? That you can start taking care of you.
And that transparency is very important. So you did mention talking to your children, saying, okay, this is just for the long haul. So transparency is very important, regardless of what your support system dynamic is.
Yeah.
You have to say, this may be a year, 2 years, 3 years. You don't really know.
No,
but
you don't.
you know, it's one of those things where you have to be open, transparent, set a goal, perhaps say, okay, this means we can go to Disney World in 2 years or
right.
something like
That's
that,
right? Yeah.
I'm thinking many questions are coming to mind about what to do and what's it like, and have you found balance yet? Or do you think you're close to it? I mean, you've expanded your team.
Yes, I've expanded my team. So Desjardins Insurance, I own my own office here in Toronto. I started with 1 team member, in my office, and we're up to 4 and 1 part-timer now, plus me. So there's growth and there's more support where I'm able to maybe take a week vacation, right? I did that for the first time this past late summer. So it helps if you build the right team, and thank goodness I have that.
Right.
I'm very fortunate that they support, and you can put your trust in them and say, okay, like I need a vacation. I can't be working 6 or 7 days a week and nonstop. Like, we are humans. We are not machines, right? So I'm lucky in that I started to just now finding that balance, right?
Yeah, I find that people, when they go into business, they come last because there's the big push for, okay, I've got to cover the rent, I've got to cover the salaries, I've got to take care of the clients, etc. But there is a real issue of burnout.
Yes.
And so, and I'm sure your family probably also applied a little bit of pressure too and said, hey, you know, I mean, you do have to take some time here.
Of course.
Some people just never do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a real challenge to create that balance and take that time off, but it's so recommended. Even when you don't think you can, just take it off anyhow.
Yeah, I agree. I think at the end of the day, we have one life to live. And if we're living it working, you know, what's the saying? Do you work to live or do you live to work?
Exactly.
Right? So,
And you went into business for the freedom, not to make
That's
it
right.
worse, right?
That's right. That's
Even though, you know,
right.
you understand the investment you're making
Of
now,
course.
but
Yeah, you're so right.
Let's talk about for a minute about the expansion of your team.
Sure.
So you went from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
At what point did you notice, I think I need to hire someone else? Like, do you wait till there's something big going on? Like, how do you know when's the right time to expand your team?
To grow. Well, I mean, I've been lucky. We're growing at a rapid rate. So when I kind of have my fingers on the pulse of the team too, and when I see that they're starting to struggle, then it's like, it's time for someone else, right? Because if we want to grow, you need to have more people to do the work at the end of the day, right?
Of course.
And it's an investment, right? I don't see it as an expense. It's an investment in the business. And it's worthwhile for the right person. It's truly an investment for sure.
So being part of Desjardins, is this considered a franchise, so to speak?
If you were going to compare it to something, I would say you'd compare it to that. So there's about 470 agents across Canada. I'm simply one in the whole network of agents. So yeah, I'm self-employed. I own the business, but I exclusively deal with Desjardins. I'm not a broker. I don't sell insurance from various companies. And I think I'm with the best company there is in Canada, truly. So I'm exclusive to Desjardins. I own my own business, but have that relationship with the company.
So then the support must be really great because you're getting the Desjardins brand and everything like that. So it makes it a little bit of a smoother and easier transition for you.
Absolutely. And I'm fortunate because I worked on the inside.
Yes.
So when I call head office for support or for most of the time, I know who I'm speaking with. It's not, there's a true relationship there. So I'm very lucky. Yeah.
So what would you say to a woman that may be in your situation? They've been working for many years for a company. Now they're thinking, I need to spread my wings. I need to get out there. What would you and how would you advise them?
Okay. So I hesitate to say, go for it, take the leap of faith. I did it, but I did it strategically, right? I made sure I had support. So I made sure I had someone to watch my little guy who was, as I started that process, he wasn't even 2 yet. So, you got to make sure you have support. You have to make sure that you have a business plan. If you're thinking of going out on your own and starting your own business, you better have a plan. Because if you're just planning on winging it, it's not going to cut it, right? So my advice would be follow your heart, truly, but do it with your mind, connected at the same time. So do it with a plan. But I can tell you, I followed my heart. People thought I was nuts. I had a company vehicle, fully paid for, even down to the gasoline was paid for. And, I had a great role, a great salary. Everyone thought I was crazy. Like, why are you doing this? And my role was there. I wasn't concerned, and that's why I took the leap of faith. Like, oh my God, maybe I won't have a job or this or that. Had nothing to do with what I was doing, other than I wanted to get out and go out on my own and follow where my heart was beating, right? So big leap of faith, and looking back, I have no regrets. So I would suggest to any woman is make sure you have support, make sure you have a plan, and follow your heart.
Do what's right for you.
Do what's right for you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because then it'll never be wrong if it's right for you, right?
Right.
So the other question I have then is, all that experience that you had when you were working in the insurance industry, because you went through several roles, did that really help with what you're doing now?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. My university background was criminology. I wanted to get into some form of, the business world that I could, everyone graduates university and you want to at least say, I'm using my degree. Exactly. I'm doing something even remotely related to my degree. Yes. So I went into claims investigation. That was my entry-level position. But you're right, I had a number of roles, from human resources to management in claims investigation and all of that. HR is always going to help you when you own your own business, especially if you have employees, because it trains you to recruit, hire, interview, manage people the right way, right? I hope I'm managing people the right way. And then, of course, management, leadership. Leadership always helps you if you're going to own your own business, because, yes, you might be a one-man show, or one-woman show, which is fine. But if you're opening a business and your goal is to grow, you're going to be managing people. So, I think in a larger corporate environment, you learn so much about how to manage people that I've taken a lot of those tools and I've implemented them. Yeah.
So in the industry, are you sort of like a lone wolf, meaning you're one of the very few women that actually are on your own doing this with the insurance company?
You know what, I can't speak for the numbers, I'm not sure, but I can tell you that there's been leaps and a whole lot of growth in terms of women infiltrating the industry, the insurance industry. So I would say probably not now. Long ago, yes. Now, no. When I look at my peer group, I'm not sure what the split is. I don't know if it's at 50-50, but I can tell you I have a whole lot of female peers. Other female agents, which is fantastic, yeah. And I think there's a small component of trusting women, right? And comfort. As an example, before we opened, there was a expectation of us that we would go door to door and talk to 350 people. Well, door to door is tough nowadays with everything
yeah.
going on. And I think males have a harder time doing that than females. I would say people are probably more likely to open the door to a female than they are to a male at 7 o'clock at night. So I think, you know, insurance is an industry where it's built upon trust. You have to trust, your clients have to trust you. And I think women are more nurturing, and I think that's just a reality. And perhaps that's why a lot of women want to, you know, come into this field, because it's an opportunity to help people build relationships, and I think we do that well as women.
We do it very well.
So do you feel that women really benefit from the type of service that you're offering?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you'd understand the female psyche and
Yeah,
what their needs would be.
what their needs are.
Especially
Yeah.
in the area of insurance and
Yeah.
things like that.
Protection. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a good term, protection.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Dina. I really appreciate being here.
Yeah. Thank
This
you,
was a
ladies.
great conversation.
Great conversation.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
not going to give up my career, but insurance would certainly be something that'd be interesting.
There you go.
Well, and if you have been in the industry or any industry for a very long time, you can do it. Dina's a great example of that. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.